Welcome Pisces to your in-depth monthly forecast for November. This is for the Sun or the Ascendant. If you've yet to subscribe to my channel, please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. So this month begins, but it has a big burst of energy coming from October in the guise of the new moon in Scorpio, which occurred on the 28th. But that forged a vital connection to Uranus, the planet of surprises. So right through the first 3 weeks of November, I do feel that that is going to be generating extra electricity in your thinking, but also in your desire to widen your horizons and make your life more stimulating and more varied. But as this month begins, there is a complication, because Mercury, the planet of communication, is retracing its steps. If you're involved in any kind of agreement or any kind of discussion or negotiation, or you are traveling, or you're doing some kind of application that has an educational dimension to it, there is the potential for a delay, a misunderstanding, miscommunication, or glitches. That's natural with Mercury tracking backwards. But Mercury tracking backwards can also offer opportunities to sort out something that hasn't been working before the retrograde began. So if that makes sense to you, if there's some part of your world that's felt stuck, that you've wanted to push out and be more daring around, but circumstances have been against it, now you have the chance to rethink your strategy to go about things in a different way. But also, as this month begins, Mars, the planet of drive and passion, is in a very intense part of your scope, your 8th house. This can be to do with long-term finance, it can be to do with entrepreneurship, can be to do with property, can be to do with legacies and wills. But it's squaring up with Pluto in your sector of your longer-term plans. If a long-term plan does get bogged down in some politics, perhaps in an intense involvement, you both want something a bit different from the future, it could reach a bit of a sticking point, and there could be something of a standoff, even a tete-a-tete. But with Mercury in retrograde, it's going to be important to try to keep the lines of communication open. You're given another celestial ace in the guise of Venus, because that moves on the 2nd into the most visible part of your scope, the 10th house. It's going to be joining with Jupiter from the 12th through to the 17th, and during that period of time you can shine like no other. You really can have awesome star quality. So if there is something you really want to reach out for, and it is to do with a golden prize, that period of time can see you having a breakthrough. But also there is on the 4th a quarter moon. This quarter moon is in the sign preceding yours of Aquarius, arcing back towards the Sun in Scorpio. Now this is quite a tender quarter moon, and there is the potential to get things out of proportion that aren't running quite as sweetly as we would like. Try to resist this, because from the 5th through to the 11th, actually the Sun forges a very stable link with Saturn. So the plans you've got to widen your horizons, which are well thought through, well planned and researched, but are going on a step-by-step basis, can make progress. And then from the 6th through to the 12th, Neptune in your sign forges a lovely angle to the Sun. If you're someone who enjoys movies or arts or any kind of photography, this can be a very enriching period. You can really enjoy those things in terms of visiting and joining in, or you can demonstrate your own skills and creative flair. However, on the 12th, there is a full moon, and this full moon brings the whole gambit of communicational issues into focus again. Now, it's possible that something you want to change, someone close to you wants to resist, and you may need to try to persuade them, but how hard do you try? Well, the fact is that there is an opportunity to do so, but it is going to require some diplomacy. But that's where Venus can really help you. So with Mercury twisting backwards, the chances of someone getting the wrong end of your stick are higher. By the 19th, however, Mars bursts into your 9th solar house as well, into the sign of Scorpio, and your desire to widen your horizons takes on a greater urgency. Also, Mercury ends its retrograde, so if you've been waiting for a document, a letter, some kind of breakthrough in some kind of thread of a discussion, it can then come. It is true that there's a quarter moon also on the 19th, and that's just saying in the following week, don't try to pack too much in too quickly, because if you do, it's going to see you spreading yourself too thin. So do focus your efforts, but make sure you don't get so caught up in obligations that you forget your need for space and independence. However, the 23rd sees the sun make its way into Sagittarius. This is wonderful. It's helping you to showcase who you are, to raise your profile, and to think more about success. Visualize this, it will come through for you. Also with Venus initially and Jupiter in this area too, your word skills, your enthusiasm, your people abilities can all be important to your progress. On the 26th, there is a new moon in this area, but Venus moves into your sector of friendship. So the last phase of this month could be a case of who as much as what you know. But Mars then goes into a very feisty opposition with Uranus. If there is part of you that wants to make a change and circumstances just seem to resist it, you may do something quite suddenly or starkly in order to make it happen. Now that could surprise people close to you, but it's because the planets are building up a certain amount of nervous energy that you feel that you need to do something. The key is not being too impulsive, but if you are someone who generally doesn't make dramatic moves, this can be a real asset to you because it can make you bolder. If you're someone who is more of a risk taker, it's just making sure that you are factoring in and thinking about the downside as well as the upside of anything that you might try. If you are traveling anywhere in the last 10 days of this month, just don't push it. Just enjoy the journey, enjoy the scenery. And as you come to the end of this month, I do feel that you will have had a truly stimulating time. It's going to be full of surprises, but a lot of them can be very pleasant indeed. If you'd like to know what 2020 will hold for you beyond your zodiac sign, based on your time, date and place of birth, you can get your year's forecast. If you order it this year, you'll get the rest of this year free, plus 30% off by clicking the link beneath this video. But for now, good luck and goodbye.